Hi Junior Achievers, my name is Audrie Jo McConkey. I am a senior instructor at the Faculty of Agriculture at Dalhousie University, and I teach in the Aquaculture program. And some of the courses that I'm involved in teaching in include fish physiology, fish nutrition, fish health, and finfish production. And so I myself took our aquaculture program. And the reason I took aquaculture was because I was always interested in the ocean and conservation and just the growth of fish itself. And so after I graduated, I worked on the boats for a while as a fisheries observer. So I was out to sea for up to 2 weeks at a time. And then I worked for the Atlantic Salmon Federation, doing some conservation work, and then worked at a small fish hatchery after that. And since then, I've been employed in the current position, and I've been here for 15 years now. So some of our students within our program end up doing a variety of different careers. And so aquaculture is absolutely phenomenal in terms of growth and opportunities that are out there. Our students always have jobs lined up after they graduate, and jobs are the pay scale typically exceed the starting wages for most job opportunities. Typically starting wages are at least 30% higher than most jobs, depending on where you are and what you're doing. So some of our alumni end up doing different things, like working out on the sea cages. So they'll live in a house on the water. So that's really appealing to some students or some people. Other ones go on to pursue further education, end up doing their master's and PhD, and doing research within the field. A lot of others have ventured down doing different opportunities, such as the field of nutrition, or also the field of growing algae, which is an up-and-coming, exciting industry. And there's a lot of growth and development within each of those sectors. So for algae as an example, I just came back from an aquaculture conference in Hawaii and visited a site that was growing algae, and they're using the algae to produce makeups and face creams and different aspects that way. So there's a lot of different opportunities out there. It's a very exciting industry. One thing about the industry is that it is often perceived in negative ways by public, and a lot of that is misinformation and really needs to be guided. A lot of the sites themselves are doing absolutely phenomenal jobs at making sure that conservation is at their priority, and that the environment that they're growing their fish in is at the top priority on their list. And there are a few instances where things have not proven to be at those same examples and have put a negative aspect on the industry. Our program itself doesn't focus just on aquaculture for food fish. Conservation is also important. And so I'll give an example of one research project that we've been involved in. And so some of the wild stocks of Atlantic salmon here in Nova Scotia are depleting. And so we've been involved in rearing some of those wild smolts from the river into our facility, and growing them up until they're sexually mature, and then returning them back into the river as they are sexually mature so that they can reproduce. And the reason for that is because the fish are not returning. A few years ago, the count of the returns in that specific river was only 22 fish. So we were able to return a double amount of fish to that space, which was an absolutely phenomenal experience and great for the environment. I absolutely love my job. There's nowhere else where you actually get to be with fish, things that you love, but also teaching. I love my students and care about each one of them. And you know, with fish, you get to see an entire cycle. So you're growing them from the very start, and watching them, feeding them every day, and it's a very exciting and wonderful opportunity. It's something I'm very grateful that I get to be involved in. So that's just a little bit about me. If you ever have questions, feel free to touch base. Cheers.